This is Gator. Last time I told you about Kelvin testing our bond, the drive we didn't take to New Orleans, and what it taught me about what brotherhood costs. Today I'm going to tell you about Walt Bundy and how I learned that brotherhood doesn't just run deep with one man, it extends when you live the code right. This story started in the FEMA trailer after Katrina. It ended with 10 pounds of crawfish and a Cajun family that claimed me as their own. I met I met Buddy down in New Orleans. We was working on the West Bank, right under the bridge, wiring FEMA trailers. And Bundy was out of Atlanta, me being out of Daytona. And we just had to wire all these trailers up. It was rows and rows of trailers. So me and Bundy became real close at that job. And, Bundy was a Bundy was a quiet dude. Bundy, that was my boy. Bundy my dude. Um, we was just wiring those trailers up, and I guess that I didn't know that was gonna be the start of a brotherhood that would carry for many years. And while we was out there doing those trailers, Bundy cousin Jimmy and Kathy, I will never forget these people either. They home got wrecked over there. I forgot what part of New Orleans that was. But Bundy come up there and he asked me, and this other dude from New York, I can't think of that brother name right now. But we come over there and help rewire Jimmy and Kathy house for them. You know what I mean? And really, that wasn't even a question of would we? Of course we would. Well, all you gotta do is just tell us where we gotta go and we'll be there. And so, we went over there and we did that work. We wired the house and they were some nice Cajun people, man. And we got their house back together and the lights came on and Kathy was so happy and she come up to us and with that big old Cajun accent. And boys, I sure enough got to pay you boys for y'all work. And she was trying to reach in her purse to give us money. And it was like, nah, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Your money not good here. We helping you because Bundy, he our brother, and if you're family with him, you family with us. And then all of a sudden, bro, she started smiling, and man, she was like, "Y'all boys ever had crawfish?" And Buddy was like, "Yeah, he kind of like he had crawfish before." And me and the brother out of New York, we were like, "Nah, I ain't never had crawfish." Then she was like, "Well, tomorrow we're gonna have a crawfish ball." And Jimmy asked her, "Well, how much you think we should buy, Kathy?" And she looked him dead in the eye and said, "Well, every man's supposed to eat 10 pounds of crawfish." And I started laughing. I thought she was joking. I really did. I thought she was joking. And the next day, she bought 50 pounds of crawfish. She had 50 pounds of crawfish. And bro, they had the corn, the potatoes, the sausage, and man, just a big old crawfish ball in that New Orleans heat. So we sat down and we ate them the crawfish. And I had a little pile, and Bundy had a pile, and the brother had a little pile over there. And Kathy looked at her. She was like, "Y'all boys ain't really touched them crawfish." And man, I'm talking about, I ate a lot that day. And she said, "Y'all didn't finish. I tell you what, y'all got need to shut them crawfish, and tomorrow I'll make crawfish egg souffle." And I'm looking like, what? I don't want no crawfish with no eggs. Because she's saying it with her heavy Cajun accent. So anyway, we sat there and we shook all of them crawfish. And the next day we came over. And bro, she made what was really crawfish egg touffee. Brother, this is one, hey, that meal was so good and so many flavors. It was like one of the best, most complex meal I ever tasted, bro. It was so good. It was really good. And right then, I became family. You know, that meal wasn't just food; it was family. Jimmy and Kathy, they didn't have to feed us, man, but they welcomed us. They claimed us because in New Orleans, family isn't just isn't blood, man. It show up everywhere. It did, and right there, bro, that was a good day. So here, what you need to know. When a brother asks you for a favor, you say, yeah. You don't calculate, you don't negotiate, you just show up. That's how you find out who your real role partners are. Not on the big job or the big check, but in the flooded house in New Orleans, rewiring lights, so a family can see their way home. That's when you know. That's when brotherhood become family. I met Bundy and those FEMA trailers, just two hands trying to put the world back together. But it was Jimmy and Kathy house and that crawfish. Yeah. That turned us from co-workers into brothers. And brothers, once you've been claimed by a Cajun mama over 10 fish crawfish, you family for life.